All right. Hmm. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Good morning, if it's morning, wherever you are. Welcome to another episode of Bias. If you're wondering why I'm wearing sunglasses, it was a long night. We're filming this right after the morning after last night's video. And I decided not to edit it still as much as I probably should. So I don't know yet, but it'll probably cut off at the end somewhere abruptly because there were some things I wanted to keep out. We wanted to keep out. We discussed, but um, yeah, yeah. There's always a bunch of stuff, and I think anytime anybody does a podcast, there's always a bunch of stuff you want to talk about until you get on camera. And I mean, I probably did 15 episodes before I started to upload these videos, but there was no camera. It was just, um, yeah, it was all audio. And it was so much easier to do that than it is to sit in front of a camera. But yeah, I feel super tired. I actually feel pretty good, but I look tired. So yeah, I decided to wear shades today. And I think I prefer it so far already. I do. Just because eyes are the windows to the soul. But yeah, I had fun last night. I had fun making podcasts without the camera. With the camera, it's a little different. It's way easier when someone's with you when you're just talking to uh, a screen. It's way different, as I'm sure you could imagine. You're just kind of talking to somebody um, with zero, with 100% assertion that you will receive zero, zero response uh, immediately, unless someone comments, of course, or brings it up later. So it's strange, almost like talking to the ether. We're just existing right now. Uh, even editing the whole thing by myself, but um, yeah, there were a bunch of stuff I wanted to talk about. Uh, yeah, it's always so funny. You think of what you want to say, especially off the bat, like being funny or having a witty remark lined up, but I'm sure that comes with time and experience and getting comfortable on the mic in front of the camera. I'm sure it does. So we'll have to see where it takes us. Um, Usually I have plenty of things to read over, but I feel like that's boring to just go through the news verbatim, especially someone who, like me, who uh, I don't really keep track of that sort of stuff, and it's hard to force myself to indulge in it. I pick up things here and there, I think, as much as the average person does. And of course, I mean, I'm no comedian, so riffing in general is a little difficult without somebody. Uh, but yeah, let's see if there is anything I can talk about. Oh, I'm sure there's a lot I can talk about, but anything I'm equipped to talk about. I did have a joke about the Pope. I don't think it the funny thing about jokes, you can get away with a lot, but I do think a lot of it relies on delivery. Um, no one wants to say a poorly crafted joke out loud, especially being recorded. But um, yeah, if maybe at some point I'll say it. But yeah, there's always news, always something going on in the world, always something going on in life. There's the Epstein thing, the chick who got hit by a bus. Super weird. I saw a little bit of stuff on, I think it's Matt Walsh, his account on Twitter, and he was saying like he had some information. You know, you never know how reliable it is, but it is weird how ironic the whole situation is. Uh, from my understanding, she was struck by a bus, but a lot of people expressed opinions that it was the accident was not as severe as the media said, and that she was bruised up more so looking like she was beat. And then obviously large trees growing in front of windows at her house, from what I read, was implying that she was being abused in her home. And then yeah, the whole suicide thing. I did save I saved someone the article about it. Or not the article, the tweet. It's hard to see through these shades, especially with the blacked out night mode. Um, yeah. Hit by a bus last week, hospitalized in serious condition. Then she recovers but commits, I don't know if I can say that word without it censoring anything, this week. Does anybody believe this BS? And this is what this guy said. Uh, the pattern isn't just chaos followed by silence, it's reflective contentment. When a high risk nod when a high risk node like Virginia survives a random trauma event, it activates what intelligence services call a redundancy kill chain. Why? Because survival after an accident breaks the illusion. Public sympathy builds, media begins sniffing, institutions tighten. So they switch methods from chaotic external force, a hit and run, to psychological internal narrative suicide. Oh yeah, I'm not going to edit that, but it's not about her. It's about preserving the illusion of consent. You know, it was interesting to read that the first time because it really was like, I mean, you can think about that with anything. And I know I talked with my brother about this yesterday on the podcast about you could take that with pretty much anything in life. Anything happens, and you could chalk it up to um, external forces within human control. That would most likely be 100% human control. But uh, I've always thought it was even bigger than that. A lot of stuff I go through the motions too. Obviously, I could make a conspiracy out of why the sky is blue, and I know there's plenty out there. But um, yeah, I like to think the truth, no matter what it is always what you least expect. Maybe not always when you're doing math, and I mean, when you know it, you know it. But wondering and assumptions, I don't know if they're very healthy for the mind, for anyone else when you say things about conspiracies. It's a likely story, and even with the JFK thing, I guess I'm backtracking a little here. It's not always wrong to have assumptions. It's might be one of those things where it's neither right or wrong. Um, but back to what I was saying about the truth is usually what you're expecting the least. Um, I try to remain positive. I know, I mean, humans are selfish creatures. We're always trying to get the better of each other. Even learning about Nixon and uh, I didn't grow up while he was president, but from listening to Bill Murray and uh, Tucker Carlson, he his image was slandered for the good of the country, or maybe something worse, something diabolical, like uh, you know, people who've been in power for 30 plus years, hiring their buddies for the next 30 plus years, their kids' friends, people they know, creating this circle of empowerment within especially our government. But yeah, I like to think that there's something above all that. I think that's where faith comes in, especially with, something beyond human control. I like how, and this might be bridging topics here, but, uh, the yin and yang, good and evil, when, uh, fucking those, uh, like life coach, Navy SEAL turned life coach individuals talk about the weak little thing inside of us trying to keep us lazy, and then the other thing in us, that the monster trying to motivate us. Um, I think it's a push and pull, just like the good and evil in this world. I don't think anybody's doing anything with 100%. I'm only gonna do this because it's evil. So when it comes down to like spreading conspiracies, I don't want to call it misinformation. When it comes down to voicing our opinions, vocalizing our thoughts on incidences like this, like a redundancy kill chain, all I can do is try to understand, or at least not care, that site bringer at the Prophet on Twitter is very either hardcore baiting or believes he is doing a service to everybody who reads that. And maybe he is. Maybe he killed her. You never know. And this is just uh, one of those things where you admit the truth in secrecy. Say you did it before it's found out, and nobody believes you. They're none the wiser. But um, yeah, I always keep things like that in mind when looking through topics. What can I talk about that's maybe the most, what can I say that's maybe the most authentic? And before I do the podcast, my mentality is usually the opposite. I'm ready to go in, picking one side, and just exploring different topics, making jokes about the Pope, RIP. But once again, that'll come with time and patience, and hopefully, I become a little bit more confident, especially realizing how much work this takes to actually create a podcast, make content people enjoy, uh, promote anything, get people to talk to, record it, upload it, edit it, upload it, uh, have the equipment, the mental capacity, the aesthetic, the sleep. Oh, it's a lot. So I think the best thing is learning to appreciate that once you upload it, after a week, absolutely nobody gives a fuck. Or one or two people watch it. It humbles you. I've learned with music, especially if you continue to do something when nobody cares, it not only humbles you, but you realize you're doing it for more than just popularity and fame, or you're doing it because it's a food. It's like a life source in a way. It's just something that, for whatever reason, you chose or chose you. Um, that's at least how I view music. The podcast thing's just been tearing me up inside. I don't know why. I don't even think I'm good at it in a way, especially once you get in front of a camera. Way, 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 way more comfortable. Um, when there is no camera and I can just talk shit through a microphone, record the screen. Uh, but yeah, I think the word's catatonic when it's just like, oh man, especially when you write a song or you're doing something like that. The part that sucks is when you think that you deserve that it should, you think, or you confuse yourself with the project. You forget that it deserves to be created. And there's a confusion thinking you deserve it, that it being brought into this world is something you require. When I think the whole reason it enters whatever it is through us is because it's worked so hard to find someone that has the same skill at the very least, uh, or in that mentality, or it's almost pulled through. Maybe neither of us deserve anything. And it's the same way we feed ideas into a computer. I mean, it's like people use a gaming computer because they want to play video games. They input specific goals and objectives to accomplish something. They're using that. Maybe there's something, the muse is viewing us the same way. It finds it's no more than someone playing Red Dead Redemption on a PlayStation 4. They could do it on an Xbox. They could do it on PC, but for whatever reason, this particular muse is in this particular part of its little universe, and it was maybe gifted the PS4 from it's Muse parent, and yeah, it's almost like uh, a divine intervention in a way that that PS4 should be so lucky that it's having right now. It's a cowboy in the Wild West, you know. So um, yeah, as far as creating anything, I think it's something I'm definitely gonna have to get used to. Just putting it out there, realizing that no one deserves anything, and continuing to just get better at it, get more comfortable, not care what people say. Maybe the first few podcasts will be more for me than for anybody else. But yeah, yeah. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on in the world. I don't really know how to use desktop Twitter. I don't use it too much. There's so much shit. Good shit, bad shit. Yep. The NFL draft. Sanders still has not received a pick, has not been chosen. Uh, I'm sure if you watched yesterday's episode, you're aware I'm not too familiar with the whole sports scene, although I don't mind listening. I don't mind learning about it. Dublin sees massive anti-immigration rally. Revenge of the Sith re-released sparks fan frenzy and box office battle. Uh, News in India. I am close to India. Pakistan. That was a bad one. I'm close to India. Pakistan. That was a bad one. Donald Trump on Palham terror attack. That's funny. I thought he might have confused India with Pakistan. I'm close to India. Pakistan. Oh, that was a bad one. You know, Trump says India, Pakistan fought over for 1,000 years. Internet says nice try. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, uh, about 30 minutes. About 30 minutes of bullshit. Well, part of me just wants to end it here. I think that'd be fun. But I also think it'd be fun to keep going. Uh, I also had a joke about Pedro Pascal's sister. It was a good joke, and it was more about it was less about her and more about Princess Kalina of Bulgaria. But I'll save that for another day too. Uh, yeah, this is fun, especially with making music and podcasting. You not only realize how difficult it is, you realize how bad you are at it. That's why you have to try. You have to try to do it. There's a quote, I don't know who it's by, I can't remember, but it was something like, oh man, what was it? Most people in the world don't know how bad they are at the things they do. Like, you'll never realize you're bad at it if you never try, if that makes sense. And I mean, I think that makes perfect sense. You will never realize you'll have all these opinions, you'll know exactly what you want from it, what you're expecting, and then the moment you start, climbing that hill, you're like, holy shit, there's way more effort that needs to be involved. Effort to be perfect, you know? People who specialize, people who've been doing it. That's why people get teams together. Uh, or most of the time start in their early mid to late 30s when they're kind of for a lack of better terms, giving up on a lot of their dreams, and they just kind of they start getting a house, saving money, and that idea slips right on through like a fucking river, water in a crack, and it finds them, and they're able to buy the lights, maybe pay someone, maybe run into someone along the way who can do half of it, and you can do the other half. And if you can find someone who's willing to help even a little bit, I don't know what more you can ask for. Even just to be a guest or anything, uh, it goes such a long way. Like, even if there was just one person to do lighting, I know it doesn't sound like a whole lot, but I have two lights, right? One above, one on the side of me. I don't even know if they're set up correctly. I think this one's pointing at my coffee, but it's like a messy puzzle, and you put it together blindfolded, and you can feel all the pieces, and you just gotta move them around on the table, and stuff starts falling in place. And sometimes you'll get a piece that connects with another piece, and it's not supposed to connect. What that is, who knows? It might be it might be similar to having a guest on that provides the content, but it makes you look bad, something you don't want to hear. All you got to do is move on. Yeah, metaphorically, keep moving that piece. Know that happened, and keep going. I've, of course, when you're messing when it's a puzzle, there is zero perceptual damage involved, but eventually you start putting pieces together. I've been making music for over probably since I was 16, 17, maybe just turned 17. I'm 27 now, and it's an easy out, but I've always told myself, it's not, I do it because I like it. I'm probably just bad at it, a lot of things about it. Maybe not with a grain of salt, giving myself the benefit of the doubt. Maybe not lyrically, but I'm so shy when it comes to recording, especially living with others, whether it's anything, this music. Uh, I looped on my own my last year of college, and it was remarkable how confident you are. Anybody is, I'd imagine. Hey, being way more authentic, and it is actually, it makes complete sense when you're alone, you know? Um, but yeah, takes time, takes dedication, but you realize, especially, especially being alone, where the gaps are. I'm pretty sure I love, I think I have pretty good lyricism, but when it comes to editing audio, um, I think I'm very incompetent with it. So you learn that, especially when you get comfortable enough to rap, sing, whatever the fuck you want to do when you're alone, and then it becomes so easy to write, so easy to do it out loud, and then mix in just a little bit of lazy fuck, and you never record anything. You're just continuing to write and write and write. And then I didn't start recording until later in that time spent living by myself. It was almost just a little too late to really master anything, especially using such outdated software, not really trying to grind as hard as I could have been, wasting money, going out. So I don't think it was necessarily a bad thing. I think it was just something I needed to experience to even get to where I'm at now, where I do have roommates. So I'm still not as comfortable writing music, but it pushes me to do it while I'm driving, going from point A to point B, pushes me to go to the gym. I know it doesn't look like it, but I do attend sometimes. And where that ability to write and sing and rap went down, you know, well, because I've been doing it by myself, the editing aspect went up. So it's much easier to put on headphones and just listen to yourself, the shit that you do record when you have the time, without being insecure, worried other people are going to hear it. And life's funny like that. It's kind of how podcasting is in a way, too. Only without the moving around for me, I've been able to get to even this point, episode fucking 4, when in reality it's episode probably 20 something. But all those first episodes, kind of disappeared. They didn't disappear. I deleted them. But I don't think about it in a way that's bad. I think about it in it's something that needed to happen. Especially if you want something, if you do that thing where you don't think about doing it because you deserve it, but you just letting it happen. If you think about it like that, like it's more of, you can just see it down at the bottom of a well, that idea. There's a lot of ideas down there. Not all of them are podcasting and music. None of them are good, but actually, maybe there's a lot of wells. There's a lot of wells, and at the bottom of every well is an idea. So I mean, you're walking around in that little world, stopping by wells occasionally, hearing something you like. What is it? And you go check it out, and maybe it's making music and you're like, oh shit. And you talk to it, you listen to it, you're like, that's pretty cool. Oh, eh, I don't mind doing what's necessary to get down there and bring it back up. Because you get down there, you don't always come back up with it. You get down there, you and you fall in love with the idea, and way back up, it falls back down sometimes. So all that takes is time. And what feels like struggle, I promise you it will not last. The struggle will not last. What comes of it, I believe does. It can, depending, life's what you make of it. But that's kind of how I view the podcasting thing. That's how I view the music stuff. It's just going to take some time. You go to the bottom of the well, you start bringing it back up. Every now and then, you'll slip a little bit. You might drop it, go back down and get it. You just got to be cool, calm, and collected about the whole thing. Even with anything in life, with anything at all. If you think something's bad, maybe it's just something you got to go through. And I know that's hard for some people to hear. It was hard for me to hear a lot of times growing up. Anybody who would say it. That's a big part of my mindset now, though. There are things in life that I pray nobody experiences. I pray nobody experiences, but God forbid they do. I hope they find it in them to not even forget about it. Just understand they're not alone. I know it sounds redundant, but it's the truth. If you're able to brush it off, if someone gets mad at you for it, hatred is confused admiration. But deep down, they just upset at the fact they can't do it themselves. Let's see what's going on this one. The country is in debt. Trump did talk with Putin. No, I did not see it. I don't know if it's even out there, but I hope it was good. I hope it went well. I don't know. There's so many things people talk about that I don't care about. I do have a pretty good RFK impression. The new popes, yeah, are being looked over. Who's going to be the new pope? As a Catholic, I should probably be more invested in this. But I don't know. I think it's one of those things again where it goes back to the whole who you know. Whoever gets chosen is going to be because they're the coolest kid in class. Maybe it'll be because their influence will make a select majority a lot of money. Not trying to talk down on the conclave, or anything going on over there, but I don't understand why it's so hard for people to step back and be like a little bit more self-aware about how little some things matter. As I say that, but I love talking about stuff like that. So, although I don't care, I guess I don't mind. I don't mind talking to people. Truly, I don't mind kind of talking over stuff. Doesn't ever have to be serious. It doesn't ever have to be meaningful. It can be meaningful. But I like the idea of it. That's kind of what we're here. We're little communicating pieces, creatures that build. We create. Let's see what's up with Sanders. I heard. Okay, Shadrew. I hope I pronounced your name right. I know I said it last night. Drew. Drew. Sanders, anticipated to be a high draft pick, has not been selected through the first 3 rounds of the 2025 NFL Draft, sparking discussion across sports media. Despite expectations, Sanders' draft position remains uncertain, with no picks from the Cleveland Browns or any other team reported in the last updates. The Browns, who have shown a strategy of not focusing on quarterbacks in this draft, have instead bolstered their roster with other positions, leaving fans and analysts curious about Sanders' future in the NFL. The narrative around Sanders includes debates on draft strategies, potential racial biases in draft selections, and the broader implications for quarterback prospects in the league. Sorry. Sanders reacts to getting drafted by the Cleveland Browns at pick 144 in the 2025 NFL Draft. I wonder if they just wanted to see him sweat, make him worry, or if they actually, if he's actually good. I've heard varied opinions. Let's check the comments. Thanks to Trump. Uh, uh, the least authentic reaction to being picked I've ever seen. Imagine bench warming for the Browns. Sorry, guys, my eyesight isn't the best. Still don't care, lol. Good luck, don't need it. LMAO. So many people are going to call me a hater. But first thing he did is say, back up. Bro, this is my moment. Dude's been waiting 2 days to do this little dance. I didn't see him say back up to anybody. I think he's having fun. He's having a blast. About to make a lot of money. And I'm assuming he already has plenty, considering his dad played football. too. Where we at time wise? Let's see. And don't make fun of me. Not that you even care, but about I have so many shit open, bro. I'm still trying to figure this out. Yeah, 45 minutes. Almost at an hour. Like pulling hair, pulling teeth. I guess the expression can go either way. Then we have Katy Perry looking like a transformer. Trump has now deported multiple U.S. citizen children with cancer. Two families, among them 3 U.S. citizens. Were probably deported under troubling circumstances. Yeah, some people are going to be very upset about that. I don't know how true it is. A lot of times people will read something and just, if it feeds their narrative, they're good to go. If it doesn't feed their narrative, it's wrong. So when you speculate everything on both sides, people are like, why the fuck aren't you eating that ice cream, bro? That's a delicious ice cream. I'd be like, hey man, I just don't like chocolate ice cream. What the fuck do you mean you don't like chocolate ice cream? I'm allergic to vanilla. You don't like vanilla ice cream, do you? Boy, I don't. I do like vanilla, and I do like chocolate. Actually, it's not. I'd say my favorite is probably chocolate vanilla swirl. I'm like, you nasty motherfucker, bro. You know vanilla makes me sick, and you're gonna eat vanilla ice cream. I mean, you're not actually allergic to vanilla, though. You tell me. That's kind of how it is, dude. You don't have to be allergic to either side of the political sphere, whether it's Republican, Democrat, straight pope, gay pope, sports, non-sports, entertainment, sports, football, singing, songwriting. You can kind of just take it all as art, even the politics. You can be impressed how, Trump did his first term, how he handled the lawsuits, how he handled not drifting away into obscurity but staying relevant, how he handled coming back, how Biden, despite his consistent lack of being, was able to do even one term. And a lot of people are going to think I'm choosing a side when I say all this. But I think they just admire my ability to see both sides of the story. But yeah, no, yeah. I think it's really easy, like reading this Rolling Stones ad. Once there's a lot of words that don't even need to necessarily be in the headline. Trump has now deported. You can take out now. Trump has deported. You can leave multiple. Trump has deported multiple. You can't say U.S. citizen children. You can't say U.S. citizen and children. You can say U.S. children with cancer. You can say multiple children with cancer, multiple U.S. citizens with cancer, but multiple U.S. citizen children. It kind of sounds like you're really trying to, you're like sliding, you know, like this is the good stuff. This is the good stuff, bro. Once you start, once you start getting a taste of this shit, you'll come back. That's what I see when I read it. You're giving me everything I need to be mad. Everything I need to be mad up front. I want I want to find the mad in me. So when I read Trump has now deported multiple U.S. citizen children with cancer, I'm like, I'm good, bro. Yeah. You obviously want me to be mad. You have an agenda to run. And the same goes with the other way. If it said Trump has supported multiple U.S. children with cancer, I'm going to say the same thing. I'm going to say, whoever's doing this, Trump has supported multiple U.S. children with cancer. I'll be like, what are you doing? That's good. But why do you need me to like Trump? You know? Trump's an out Trump. Kanye. Some people would argue they're the same person. But no, I'm kidding. But no, Kanye did. He helped a kid with cancer, right? Something like that. And said like, if he wasn't gonna die, I wouldn't help him. But who knows? Maybe that was for entertainment. It sounds better though. Trump has supported multiple children with cancer. It's easier to just be to be happy. If it said Biden, Kamala has supported multiple children with cancer. Yeah, it is. It's easier to be happy when it doesn't matter whose name you put there. I don't think so. I don't think it matters whose name. It's when it's more the aggro stuff. Anything aggressive, anything aggro. But what else we got? Sweden has announced it plans to deport immigrants who have acquired Swedish citizenship but have failed to integrate into Western society. I mean, if they wanted to acquire citizenship and not fully integrate into society, they should have just came to America. In all honesty, you don't go to even a piece of land that touches where the Holocaust happened if you don't expect to integrate into society. With all honesty, they look fine to me. That looks like a normal dude, normal people. Now that thing on his chin, I don't know how I feel about that. That doesn't seem too Swedish. Maybe Italian. Probably need to get a thicker mustache if you're gonna put that thing on your chin. But yeah, that's my advice. What else? Is this on the explore? Yeah. Hey, that's like that philosopher guy who was in a bucket. Yeah, that probably not enough context for that one. Oh, sorry, I'm not used to this. Hockey. I went to a Bruins game. That was fun. Let's see what's up with Revenge of the Sith. I'm glad they're having fun.
Got this on Fair and Show. I'm the favorite child now.
For me?
No, for mom. Real.
Oh, wow. How much? Damn.
She picked them out herself. I said, I want these. And she went, You can't do that, Sam. You can't buy them. It's too expensive. I said, Mom, it's for Mother's Day.
When's Mother's Day? Around the corner?
She made a joke about me buying them, and then I actually bought them, and then she was like, I'm not gonna buy them. And I'm like, You literally just said buy them, but okay. So fine.
You should go downstairs with them on.
She would be so mad. She wouldn't be mad. She just like, I told her she gets it money there.
You want to play Rocket League later?
No, I'm going somewhere.
Where are you going? Wait. Where are you going? I'll be honest. Arrogance, what was it? Hate. Hate is confused admiration. I hate when people do this shit, and I'm like, I'm we did it. During the whole, when people get loud and stuff, you know, like the fucking, seeing the Minecraft movie. I didn't go see it, but seeing people do this shit, talk over the movie, yell, like one big massive energy. I think it's just, I'm so old. I'm grown up. That all, like that stuff at those places is like, it's so interesting to see a movie like that, a Minecraft movie or a Marvel movie, something gauged towards a portion of the community that I don't know how to describe it. They obviously do really well. The whole Marvel thing, the whole, you know, the Avengers movie. It's a mass of being large enough to support, to like large enough to make the movie extremely, or whatever it is, very successful. Even with music, you know, anytime you get a group of people vested in watching that one thing, you almost see a reflection of the new age, especially as music and movies, entertainment, cultures rapidly exponential growth, rapidly and rapidly innovating. When I see something like that, I just get so disappointed. But I'm sure that's just part of me that wishes I was up there doing a little lightsaber battle, being silly, but it really is like every generation just becomes a little bit more and more this thing that has to, like one brain, like something that really does have to, like they're all in a room watching a fucking movie, the Minecraft movie. And when something happens, it's like majority people in the room need each other to know what they're feeling inside. It's I've always thought it like when you're like I remember being at a being at movie theaters back in the day, and there's always like the one guy. There's always one guy who's a little too excited. A little too excited about the what's it called? Celebrity shot. You know, then the guy who is just a little too excited about a surprise Avenger, a guest appearance. This is the word I'm looking for. A a, a feature on a album, especially when it's popular and they like that guest spot, the feature in the song or the album or the movie. It's like it's like they need the entire group to know that they know who that is. That's how I've always felt about it. I'm sure it's not. It's never like that. Like the first thing I said, it's always what you expect at least. It's a built up little bit of energy. They're probably super excited, kind of like a kid opening a Christmas present. They're like, "Oh my god!" I'm just like, they're probably so grateful. And I've been there where I was just a little too excited to see, like I said, a feature on a song. And I'm like, no shit, you guys don't know who the fuck this is. You don't know who's featuring on this right now. I had to get that out of me though, because it really doesn't matter at all. But I'm sure there's people out there who get it. They're like, yeah, no, I get what you're talking about, but yeah, it don't matter. I swear, all my electronics are about to die. Yeah, that's an hour. Thank you, thank you for listening. If you did, tell your friends. Um, yeah, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, or don't. I appreciate it. Peace.